Once upon a time in the heart of the jungle, there lived a young lion. Now this lion wasn't any ordinary lion. His name was Leo. And Leo had a dream, wanted to become the greatest king the jungle had ever seen, just like his great-great-grandfather, the legendary Leonardo I. Every night before going to bed, Leo would look up at the stars and ask the moon to help him become strong, brave, and wise like his ancestor. Leonardo were great, but as days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Leo started feeling disheartened. You see, Leonardo the Great had so many amazing tales to his name that the whole jungle was familiar with them, but no one was willing to tell them to Leo. One day, Leo decided he'd had enough of this. He wanted to hear the tales of Leonardo the Great, and so he set out on a journey to find them. On his way, he met an old, wise turtle who was basking in the sun. "Excuse me, Mr. Turtle," said Leo politely, "but have you heard any tales about my ancestor Leonardo the Great?" The turtle opened one eye, looked at Leo, and said, "Tales? Oh, I know a zillion of them. Why don't you come back in the evening, and I'll tell you all about 'em." And true to his word, when the sun set and the fireflies started blinking their lights, the old turtle began to speak. Once upon a time, he began, and Leo leaned in to listen. There was a terrible drought in the jungle. All the animals were very scared, because there wasn't enough food or water for them to eat or drink. The king at that time was Leonardo I. He was very worried about his subjects, so he called an urgent meeting with the elephants, the monkeys, and the birds. Together they came up with a plan. The elephants would use their tusks to dig a well. The monkeys would climb up tall trees to look for food and water. And the birds would fly over the neighboring hills to see if they could find water. And so that's how, thanks to Leonardo I, the animals survived the terrible drought. The young lion, Leo, was mesmerized by the tale. Every night the turtle would tell him a new story about his ancestor, and every night Leo would go home with a new lesson to learn. He learned about courage, kindness, patience, and most importantly, leadership. Now that Leo knew what kind of king he wanted to be, he started preparing himself. He trained his body and sharpened his claws. He also spent time with the villagers, learning about their problems and how he could help them. And so, little by little, Leo became the best version of himself, became the strongest, bravest, and wisest lion the jungle had ever seen. Just like his great-great-grandfather, Leonardo the Great. The end.